Welcome back to the morning show here on Horizon News. Ojy Okpe is here with stories trending around the world. Hey, Ojy.
Good morning, Leila. Good morning, Tundun. How are you girls
Good,
today?
and how are you?
Happy Friday.
Yes.
I am excited. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday.
Me too.
Well, good morning to you viewers. We begin what's trending today here in Nigeria. The Sokoto Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has confirmed that 65,548,000 naira was recovered from the Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Zamfara State. According to the statement released by the EFCC, the money was recovered from 2 fireproof safes during a search in the offices of the head of accounts and cashier of INEC in the state. The money was recovered after the anti-graft agency stormed the office following a petition by an ad hoc staff of the electoral body alleging that the officials of the commission illegally deducted part of the allowance due to them for the last general election. According to the complainant, INEC in Zamfara allegedly paid its ad hoc staff the sum of 9,000 naira, while others in states like Sokoto were paid 12,000 naira.
Well.
Kudos to that whistleblower.
Yes.
And this is the importance of that. And I hope INEC takes a close look at this and at least addresses this for the Bayelsa and Kogi elections on November 16th so it does not reoccur. So what this really shows me is that people can't be trusted, quite simply.
Absolutely.
We saw those awful pictures during the general election of corpers having to sleep on the street, literally on the floor.
And that's the issue now.
And you wonder that their money was sitting in somebody's safe somewhere.
So 9,000 naira, 12,000
Yeah.
naira,
6,000 naira. They didn't get
9,000 naira, you recall.
Some of them were complaining that they didn't even give them the 6,000, ordinary 6,000 naira for movement.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
They
understand.
were robbed. So we now know what ended up with their money as well. It's really unfortunate that people would do this.
It's
Why would
it's
they
actually,
put
in
that
my
type
opinion,
of, how are you
abuse.
saving that type of money in a fire? Why are you keeping that type of
stealing
money
it.
in their office in the
Well,
first place?
when it gets found, the next thing we hear is that a snake came and ate it. So
like the story of the gorilla.
You know?
No, but it's really, really sad. And I think INEC, the issue with INEC presents its budget. This budget is approved. The money is disbursed from the federal government through the Ministry of Finance. So what needs to happen now is closer monitoring of exactly how that money is dispersed and spent.
Yes.
There needs to be some kind of measure taken that they don't have cash. Because with cash, there's a lot of trust.
That was my question. Like, why was it cash? Like,
Yes.
if you're paying that type of money, how come it's cash?
Because then imagine what is going missing that's not in physical cash. That's what's scary.
And like this whistleblower has highlighted this particular issue. Goodness knows what happened all over the country. This is only one state.
Yes. But then also there has to be measures to account for that money. By the EFCC, they have to also account to where the money is going to be, correct? Like where they're going to keep it.
I suppose they'll pay the people that it's owed to.
Well, that's the whole idea. Let's see how that would be.
We have to move away from a cash system.
Yes,
yeah, we can't be trusted.
Cash system, manual system, everything is just rotten. To be honest.
But you know, the system here works. I don't understand why we cannot use it. I mean, if we have ATMs, we have all these things. Why can't we just use the system that works?
Because if we start using the system that works, we'll have free, fair, and credible elections. That is going to take power out of the few that want to keep it.
All of these, even the people that want to keep it, they all come out and complain that we don't have a system that works. They all come out and they all talk about it.
We had an INEC officer on the show justifying the manual process to me, and I'm like, you guys are an independent institution, push for electronic.
No, they don't want it. They're vested interests, and they make their little advantages, such as this criminal activity that we're seeing.
And they just cross their fingers that they'll never get caught or they can find a way out if they do.
Well, kudos to the whistleblower, like you said, and we should have more whistleblowers. Well, over to the UK now, where an environmental activist climbed on top of a plane on the runway of London's City Airport yesterday as part of a series of protests at the site by the group of Extinction Rebellion. Videos showed the man, identified by the group as para-athlete James Brown, lying on the British Airways aircraft for over 20 minutes as authorities attempted to help him down. Extinction Rebellion are attempting to shut down London's 5th largest and most central airport from the 10th to the 13th of October to protest a planned expansion of the site, which the group says will make it impossible for the government to reach carbon neutral status by 2050. Hundreds of activists blocked the main entrance to the site, while others delayed a flight by 2 hours by giving a lecture on climate change just before takeoff. Passengers filmed a man standing up in the middle of the aisle and reading aloud on his phone as the flight was preparing to leave.
Well,
it seems hilarious, but I mean, I think that it's important for actions like these to be taken. I mean, you have to be radical sometimes to do some things.
The fashion industry produces more carbon emissions every year than airplanes. Why didn't he just take off all his clothes? I mean, he's fully layered. He's got his scarf, his shirt, his jumper, his jacket.
He couldn't walk around naked.
That's more carbon emissions.
No, but they did. Extinction Rebellion did block Oxford Street and Oxford Circus over the Easter holiday to make this point. And I agree with you. I mean, I'm not a radical or militant in any way. I'm quite moderate. But I do appreciate people like that because they are the ones who move the needle.
Exactly.
We need people like
Steve Jobs said, the people that think that they can change the world are the ones that are actually crazy enough to do so.
Yeah, we need them. I'm not going to, jump on a plane and be a nuisance, but
I know, right?
Kudos.
All right, well, let's head over to France now, where the French president, Emmanuel Macron, and other philanthropists, governments, and private firms pledged just over $14 billion yesterday, or a plan to save 16 million lives in a boost for the global fight against AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. The replenishment meeting in Lyon, France, where the French president complained that the resolve to fight the deadly trio had weakened in rich countries because fewer of their own are dying and treatment, particularly for HIV, is now readily available. The French president was accompanied by Burundi's 18-year-old Amanda Dushimine, who came to testify about her own HIV sickness.
Our lives are valuable. You must never forget that. Today we have only one choice: to accelerate the movement and make this 6th fundraising conference a success. Hear our voices. Let us get involved. Let's accelerate this movement. Thank you. In sub-Saharan Africa, girls are particularly affected, with only 1 in 2 children having access to treatment. In some of our countries, there have been problems with ARVs, going out of stock for years. We are often the first to suffer. Pediatric ARVs are largely insufficient. Blood is neither adapted nor diversified.
From this moment, the aim is quite simply to eradicate AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria from the face of the earth. I will say one last thing. I will not let anyone out of this room or leave Lyon until the $14 billion is raised.
Amazing. This actually moved me yesterday when I watched it. I mean, the Global Fund was established in 2002, and so far they have done so well in trying to help other countries, like in Africa, to help eradicate AIDS. You know, according to the UN's World Health Organization, 770,000 people died of HIV-related causes last year, with 1.7 million new infections. Tuberculosis, a high risk for HIV-positive people, claimed some 1.7 million lives in 2017, and malaria, more than 430,000.
That is deeply moving. Did you hear what she said, that they don't have antiretroviral drugs for?
Which is so...
Can you imagine? It's just tragic.
It's a death sentence.
And that's what Emmanuel was talking about. And we're not here trying to get charity. We're here to help people. We're not here
because there's a cure.
Yes. Well, not a cure, but you can manage your symptoms.
You can manage. No, I feel like I'm going with that cure story. But you can.
And have a long, productive life if you take those ARVs.
And people are just dying in Africa.
770,000
people died last year. And that's a lot.
Honestly.
Really. And
so kudos to this
fund and Bill Gates and all these philanthropists. We just have to continue to thank them and raise more awareness for causes like this.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.